happy that you're joining me for the second part of Stretch, Twist, and Flow. Now, this class kind of builds on the last class. You can do both of them independently. You could do them really back to back. You might just skip the very beginning part of this one with the warm-up and the grounding, and they can make a really nice longer flow if you wanted. But I wanted to, again, I have my blanket and I have some yoga blocks, so a few props that we might show you how to use them or different ways you can modify, and I thought we would go give it a try. So for this class, we're going to start kneeling, as long as that's comfortable. If you have any sort of knee pain or knee challenges, just sit in an easy, simple Sukhasana cross-legged seat. Otherwise, if we're going to start kneeling, I know especially when I start a class, sometimes my knees don't want to bend all the way, or if I sit there for a while, they start to ache. So a great way to alleviate that is you could sit on a blanket. You could also sit on a block, or depending where you're at in your body, you might sit on 2 blocks, depending on your height, how stretched your muscles are. You might choose to sit on 2 blocks. And that way you can keep the nice length in your spine and also still have your knees bent and comfortable. You could, as well, take 1 block or no block, and just like we did with child's pose before in our last video, you could take the blanket and put it on top of the block and over your calves, and kind of gives you a softer seat and a little bit extra cushion and bolstering. So play with your props, find what's comfortable for you. Similarly, we did that I can rest heart breath at the end of the last class, and I thought it would kind of bring it full circle to do it at the beginning of this class. So we're going to reach our arms wide, 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 wide. Bring them in, hands at our heart. We're going to breathe in, breathe out, and say, I can rest. Breathe in, breathe out, I can rest. Breathe in, breathe out, and bring your hands down and flutter your eyes open if they were shut. Now, I find that can be a great breath at both the end of class, reminding ourselves to take that little bit of rest and let our muscles really relax after all the hard work we did. I also can find it can be really grounding at the beginning of class, because sometimes we jump into yoga, we're like, okay, let's do yoga, stretch, and I'm gone. And like we talked about before, that can be both how we injure ourselves because we haven't properly warmed up. It can also not really put us in the right mindset. Sometimes it's better to take a shorter class, even if you can only give yourself 10 minutes, but do a shorter class and really get the full benefit of it by allowing your body to relax and ease into things, and then stretch and get the full workout and the full benefit of the class. So if you have anything under you, go ahead and take those props and toss them to the side, or place them to the side, and we're going to come over here. And we're going to go into a table, a neutral table, and we're going to introduce those hip circles again. So we want to do, you can be small hip circles. You can really stay in the table and just kind of, you round your spine and just move your hips. That can feel good as well. So play with them, see what your body wants today. Go in one direction and then go in the other direction. Again, small circles, bigger full circles, almost like you're pushing back to child's pose. Play with it. See what feels comfortable. Maybe a combination of both. Great work. Then we're going to come back to our neutral spine. We'll breathe in and out a couple cat-cows. So breathe in. Let your belly hang down. Gaze towards the sky and cow. Breathe out and round that spine. Breathe in. Belly hangs down into cow. Breathe out, round that spine. Let's do one more. Really get a good stretch in. Breathe in for cow. Breathe out for cat. Nice work. Come back to a neutral spine, and then curl those toes under, and we're going to push up into a down dog. Push up and back into a down dog. Go ahead and pedal it out. Make sure you feel comfortable in your dog. And then when you're able, find a little stillness for a breath or two. And then we're going to lift our right foot into the air. Pretend you are pushing it against a wall. That's always a good image to me. So your foot's active and it's strong, your leg is strong, and it's parallel with your hips. And then we're going to bring it forward, crunch it in a little, engage your core and bring it to the outside of both of your hands. So we're in a lizard posture. So my foot is over here. You can even turn it out a little, even off your mat for a nice wide lizard. And my right and my left hand are both on the inside of my foot. We're going to breathe here. Now I like to think of yoga as bus stops. If this stretch is way too intense, go ahead and lower that knee. You can lower the knee. You can even come up on fingertips to give yourself a little less intensity, but still a really great stretch. If this stretch is not intense enough for you, you can come down onto your elbows and forearms to really deepen the stretch. So it's really where your body's at, how your practice is going. Don't hurt yourself, and it doesn't matter what stop you get off on. You really just want to make sure that you're comfortable. All right. So for anyone that had the knee lowered, we're going to lift it. We're going to bring our foot a little closer in if you had a really wide lizard. We're going to plant our left hand more in the center of our chest and then twist and reach our right arm towards the sky for a crescent lunge. You can also bring the right arm behind your back if you want for more of a bind. Or you can just keep it out in front of you for a little more stability. So find what works for you. Then we're going to bring it back down. Bring our leg up, three-legged dog, and you can come down to plank, either keeping your dog for a three-legged dog or plant the foot and come down to plank. Then we're going to push up for a cobra. You can also push into up dog if that's comfortable. Push up into cobra. Then we're going to curl our toes under and come up and back to down dog. Nice work. So now we're just going to repeat what we did on the other side. So pretend that left foot pushing into the wall, active foot, parallel leg with your hips. Bring it forward, tuck it in, and come into your wide lizard pose. And if you don't come in one swift motion, there I almost didn't either. If your foot gets to here and it gets stuck, just bring it up in slow increments, or you can even use your arm to help guide and lift it forward. All right, and remember our bus stops. We can lower our knee, come up onto our fingertips, relieve any pressure that we might be having. We can keep our knee lifted, come down onto our forearms, widen that leg a little for a wider lizard, or stay in a more traditional lizard. If your knee is lowered, go ahead and lift it. Take your right hand, put it more towards the middle of your chest, twist and raise that left arm into the sky. Again, you can keep it overhead, or you can bring it around and behind your back for a little bit deeper of a twist as well. Wherever you're at, bring your arm back down. Bring that leg back up into the air for a three-legged dog. Come forward, and again, you can lower to a three-legged plank or plant the foot and lower down. Breathe in and push up into cobra. And then come up onto your knees and push all the way back to an extended child's pose. Similar to what we did before, we are going to, if you did the last part, we're going to spider finger, crawl our fingers over to the left of our mat. Get a good stretch in the under part of our bicep, the side of our bicep, and our right shoulder. Take a good breath or two. Come back to center, and then spider crawl those fingers over to the right. And you'll feel that same stretch now in your left shoulder and bicep. Come back to center, and slowly push yourself up. Nice work. And we're going to find a comfortable seat. And we're going to do some more circles. So this time we're just going to do some nice wide circles to kind of cool down a little. Wide circles. You can hear my floor creaking. All right, switch directions. Maybe your floor is creaking along with me, or maybe your knees creaking. We all have different creaks in our lives. Right. Then we're going to stretch our arms out. And these are kind of They're kind of like gym school stretches, school PE stretches, but we're going to make them a little more yogic. So we're going to breathe in, raise our right arm up, bring it across our chest, guide it with our left hand, but instead of doing this and kind of cranking like you probably did in high school gym, we're going to plug our shoulder down and in, and you'll feel it kind of sit in the socket, and stretch sort of gently, but also make sure you're guiding it and really feeling a good stretch. So you will actually feel a stretch through your neck as well. You don't want to feel a twinge, but you should feel stretched. All right, now we're going to breathe in, put that arm up behind us, and then if you want, go ahead and grasp the elbow with the opposite hand. Nice tall spine, still sitting in a very comfortable but supported yoga seat. And then bring that arm down. Nice work. Let's do it on the other side. So breathe in, left arm up, left arm across the body. Go ahead and guide it, and then remember to plug the shoulder. You'll even kind of feel a shift in your back when you do it. Plug that shoulder down and in. Also, I know how it feels in my body, but I remember the first time I heard the cue, I went, what? What do they mean? So feel free to practice it in front of a mirror, or just kind of watch what you're doing and have someone else watch you so you can kind of feel it. But instead of looking like this where you're off level, you'll see that your shoulders have gotten much more level and it's sitting in its socket the way shoulders should. Breathe in and breathe out. Then go ahead and lift that arm up and back. Grasp the opposite elbow if that's comfortable. This is always a great check. You can kind of feel your ribs lift up and out a little. You can feel your spine lengthen, so this is a great way to check your posture and see how you're sitting, especially within your spine. Nice job. We're going to bring our arms behind us and do a simple chest opener. So you don't have to really crank it. If you want to go a little deeper on this bus stop, you can bring your arms behind your back and pull down to get even a deeper stretch the arms a little more. But I really feel sometimes just having the fingertips on the floor, looking our gaze towards the sky, and pulling our shoulders back so that our chest opens can be really comfortable. And then we'll do a quick twist to each side. So arms up. Nice gentle twist to one side. As you breathe in, lengthen your spine. And as you breathe out, twist a little deeper, any amount. And go ahead and look over your shoulder if that's comfortable, or keep your gaze just straight to the side. Okay, and your next exhale, come back to center. We'll do the same on the other side. Breathe in. And breathe out and twist. Great work. Again, when you breathe in, lengthen that spine. As you breathe out, go ahead and twist a little deeper, any amount. And then come back to center. Good job. So our very last pose, I thought we would try legs up the wall. Now, legs up the wall is really restorative. It's really comfortable. Hopefully you have wall space. I should have told you that in the beginning. If you don't worry about it. The only things that are contraindicated, that means people that shouldn't do legs up the wall, is if you have a really high blood pressure, if you have glaucoma, or if you have a hernia. So if you have anything with like blood pressure or high eye pressure for glaucoma, you wouldn't want to do this because it does make the blood travel in the opposite direction. But otherwise, it's a really good, really restorative stretch for your muscles. And if you do have any of those medical concerns, you can feel free to just lay down and do Shavasana with us. Or you could bring your feet together, soles of your feet together, and do a Supta Baddha Konasana, a reclined butterfly pose. That'll give you another great stretch option. So if you want to try legs up the wall, remember the first time I did this, I thought it was a little kooky, but the teacher I was with was actually a massage therapist as well, and she gave us a foot rub while she did it, so that definitely sold me on it. If you have anyone in your house who can give you a foot rub while you do it, that might sell you on the pose. If you feel any pressure in your lower back when you do this, go ahead and fold a blanket up under it and put that under your hips. Some people like the blanket. I don't usually like the blanket, but I like to encourage the use of it or trying it to see what feels comfortable. So we're going to come up against the wall, and you put your bum right up near the wall, and then you put your legs up it. So it's a supported inversion. Sometimes we do like plow inversions where we go like this and we bring our legs down. This is a similar idea to get the blood flow in the opposite direction, but without any strain on the back, the neck, or any other area of our body. And then just put your hands gently at your side. You can do this for up to 5 minutes if it's comfortable. I just wanted to introduce the pose to everyone today, so we'll do it for a minute or two. And also, you can play with the width of your legs. For me, it usually depends on the day, but some days I really like to have a wider leg straddle, a wider stance in my legs. Some days I'm more comfortable with them close. I rarely zip them right up, but for some people, that's the most comfortable. Oh, and just so you can see, if I was going to slide it, I lifted my bum, I put my feet on the wall, and then I slid the blanket beneath my lower back. You do want the back to feel flush and comfortable against the floor or blanket. We'll take a couple breaths here. Nice slow breath in. Nice slow exhale. You can have your arms at your side or on your belly. Nice slow inhale. Nice slow exhale. Take one more deep inhale, the deepest breath you've taken all day. And on the exhale, slowly walk your legs down the wall. Roll over just like we do after Shavasana into the fetal position and take a breath here. And then go ahead and come back up to sitting. Hopefully you don't have blankets beneath you like I do. Let's go ahead and push everything to the side. All right, I hope you had a great class. That legs up the wall pose, if you've had a long day on your feet or just walking, working, whatever it might be, that can be a great restorative pose just to do that right before bed. Even if you're up in your bedroom, find a little wall space and give it a try. Even if you get to no other yoga that day, that can be a good one. I hope you had fun stretching, and I hope to see you again soon.